Yo, what's good, peeps? It's your boy DK, aka Smooth Kid, aka Leah Travels, coming to inform y'all on what's really going on out here, man. We're gonna do it quick. We're gonna do something a little different today. I want to dive into the Japanese yen, man. I feel like what's going on out there is super important to be paying attention to. There's a lot of things that's going on in the economy that could very well spill over into ours. We are that much tied together. Knowing what's going on in their world, or we should say in the global economy, is very paramount, right? You want to know what's going on outside of just the United States, because the world is bigger than that, right? Just trade in general, what goes into everyday things that we consume, has everything to do with the world economy. So what's going on with the yen is super important. It's something to, like I say, keep track of, pay attention, and to kind of, in a sense, give you a direction of where you could start to take advantage of what's going on in this market, so you can hedge your money, so you can get ahead of the curve per se, in where we assume that the market is going to go, or in a sense where the market go. Because I like to call myself a reactionary trader, right? A reactionary investor, because we can't beat them. So our best alternative is to join them, right? Pay attention to what they do, and kind of ride the wave, right? Or ride the whale, as I would say. So what's going on with this yen, man? Is we've been having a devaluation of their currency for some months now. Like it's it's just been getting killed for some months, and it was getting to the point where they value their currency was getting to a all time low, in a sense where you have a lot of had or have a lot of investors who are getting away from the yen, right? Investing in other currencies, other commodities, things of that nature, due to the devaluation of their currency, and the things that's been going on with the economy. So, with that being said, as you can see in your background, I have the Japanese yen pulled up from a technical aspect, right? I'm gonna update the chat too, but yeah, from a technical aspect, yen was just getting killed, right? If we scan out to about a weekly time frame, and you will see yen was just getting it's just been getting killed. And Friday we had a crazy uptick that was kind of out of the blue. Most traders got caught off guard by what was going on. The that jump spike was just kind of out of the blue, something that you normally don't see unless there's like news or something behind it. There was really nothing, in the news that justified that move that had happened on Friday. Well, that move was due to what they're calling it right now in the headlines is what they're calling it right now is that the intervention from the US, right? They're trying to step in and help the Japanese currency to keep from it going any further. Any more devaluation of their currency is going to really force the Japanese yen to start to sell off US treasuries. And the yen, or the Japanese people, hold a tremendous, or they the most amount of US treasuries in the world. So what affects their market affects our market. So them having I guess you could say, a proactive approach to what's going on over there in Japan is something that we have to pay attention to, because if this signal, right, this jump in the market could be signaling that something else is going on in the background that hasn't been exposed yet. Got to pay attention to how the economic data has been postponed several times in November, and they did it again in December. So that's a lot of data that the market has not been updated on. And with that intervention that they're talking about doing with the Japanese yen could be a signal that hey, something else is going on. Only the best scenario for us, right, is to pay attention to fiscal policy, like what they president or prime minister of their country is saying, what they're saying on in interviews, what the analysts are saying on, say, for instance, Bloomberg or CNBC, wherever you getting your info from. It's really just, in a sense, selling the news or buying the news, either or. So, what's going on over there is a warning to what could happen to the United States. Understanding that we are 37 trillion, almost $37 trillion in debt, understanding that our bond situation is similar to what's going on, our treasuries or situation is similar to what's going on in the Japanese economy right now. We are in the process of trying to refinance our debt as well. And with all of these different proxy wars that we are facing, that we are currently going through, that's not really being talked. If you understand the link, then you know what's going on. This could be the perfect weapon for China to use against us. Now, not to so much get into all the political aspect of it, but I'm just giving you a picture of how our economy could be affected the same way that the Japanese economy is going through right now. And this administration is low, ain't even low key. They are purposely devaluing the US dollar on purpose. Trump done said it out of his own mouth. Like, that's his whole goal, which is why you see gold going crazy, silver going crazy. Eventually, you're gonna see Bitcoin go crazy. Like, you're starting to see these risk on type of uh, assets starting to, get a lot of investors' attention because we don't have a sense of right now stability. One minute Trump say he gonna put tariffs on you, the next minute he say he not. That's not a good thing for in the market. It can be, or manipulation can be, depending on if you the one who doing the manipulation. But you still gonna have a big group of investors who do not, they ain't even for to play around with you like that, right? We're just gonna go ahead on and put our stuff in hard assets, gold, silver, physical assets that we can actually touch. We know that is, what I'm saying, beyond manipulation in the sense from a digital aspect. So when you have these different scenarios cooking, you have to pay attention to what's going on. You have to uh, do a deep dive into, okay, if this can happen to them, is there's no way you can possibly think that this won't happen to us. So with the yen situation right now, the thing to be paying attention to in my head would be the 10-year yields, and watching that correlation between our 10-year yields and day 10-year yields, right? Subtracting that and getting the spread, not necessarily, doesn't necessarily got to do the math on it per se, but the spread is to let you know which yield is getting the advantage of the other one. I'm gonna check these charts out right now, and just to see how the market is pulling back, how they reacting to. The stock market been open about 30 minutes now. I'm gonna check them out, see what's going on over here. Yo, NETP smack, yo. Nice trade right there, man. TP smack on NEE. It's nine whole dice. Whole dice. Where's gold? Man, I was looking for a possible move on gold. Gold just on a whole nother level right now. It's on a whole new level, and that's what we were just talking about as far as the sentiment of the investors. With all this uncertainty on what's really going on out here, you're going to see more implosion of hard assets. I would say, at least right now, um, to hedge the losses, to hedge ahead of what may or may not be, especially when it comes from a sentiment standpoint. Because you don't know what Trump gonna say today. He might say he gonna slap tariffs on Japan ass, and the whole time they down there on the brink of the economy just imploding. That nigga don't care shit. He don't care nothing about it. So it's Monday. It's early in the week. So we still got a lot of room for a lot of different things to take place. So you don't want to get too caught up in, one way or the other. Kind of sit back and let the market decide on which way it want to go. Like I say, we just kind of ride the wave on whichever way they decide they want to go. Yeah, you want your sentiment. Yeah, you want your bias, but you don't want to marry it, right? Good traders, we don't marry our bias. We have one. You have a preset of rules that you run through each day before you partake in a trade. But if price does not go where you think it's going to go, then we switch our sentiment. At least I do anyway. The market don't owe you shit, so you can't be thinking that just because it's your bias that somehow you supposed to be right, and you only represent an iota of this market. So being naive, that definitely doesn't help when you're in this space. So right now, like I say, waiting on just to see how the market gonna um, play out. I'm currently in this AJ trade right now. Um, Paying attention to how it's going to continue to react. Right here, this red line might exit this early. I got in it last night around here. Pull out the joint. I got in around here and overnight dropped 50 pips on me. I didn't have my parameters in, so boom, getting the pullback now. So um, I want to see if it's gonna, give me the leg back down. Because if we break this line here, break out, retest it, then we already know it's going to continue to just about go bullish. This one of these trades where you might have to take the L to get the win, right? Because it's like I was just saying, you don't want to marry your bias. You do want to have one, and I could be like, this could be a poorly managed trade, right? Maybe I should have had my stop loss. Well, like I say, I was here when I woke up. It was at entry, so I could have closed this, but I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna ride it out to see if we're gonna get the leg back down. Like I said, I was up about 50 pips last night while I was asleep, but I didn't, wake up, check my trade, or I didn't have my parameters in. So when we woke up, it was back at entry, and now we currently here where we looking like we getting some bullish volume, some bullish momentum, but it's still early. I do I am paying attention to this now right here. Like I said, we get above here, then it might be all right. I might need to exit. They might go ahead on and run this and keep on, but for now we're gonna see. Still early. We might get the push back down into this area around our entry and then get that leg down. So that's where we at right now, man. Like just the trade that I'm currently in, and I'm currently waiting to see if he ain't gonna continue his uptick as well. This move could be just a speculative move, and the market might go right back and take all them gains from Friday. So, kind of risk on right now. Early, still early. Like I say, it's Monday. It might be one of those situations where you have to take the L to get the win, or to figure out which way the market want to go. Sometimes it works out for you. Hey, sometimes you get caught up in that Monday trap. So that's that part of the game. Because we can definitely see this right here happen. You see my price. You see price get up here, break this up, come back, and then all this imbalance right here. I can see that. I can very well see that for sure. And you can maybe say I was being greedy, trying to catch this whole move. I can agree with that as well. I can agree. But like I say, this is where we at with it with AJ. I want to see if it's gonna make this next drop leg back down. If not, then we'll look to see if we gonna get this move here. If it break this, come back, retest this line that I got here, and then go ahead on and give us the real move. I'm cool with that too. You know, cool with that too. Um, Either way it go, we're gonna trap what we see. Um, that's just part of the game, man. But yeah, we paying attention to yen heavily, super heavily. And if you're looking for news outlets, man, my favorite by far is Bloomberg. It's one of my go-to news sources. You got different categories as you can see in my on my screen right now. Let me share this tab with you right quick. Bloomberg, man. If you don't know, um, I feel like this will be a good source to start with if you're just not trying to get your foot wet into this market. You want trying to get your lingo up. Bloomberg is definitely a good site. You get one free ad a day just to let you know how pertinent this site is. No foo. They ain't playing no games. All they cover is the economics of the world. Right? Real journalists, they ain't on no Democratic side, no Republican side. They just, giving you the facts of what's really going on out here. You have to pay for the subscription though. It's like $35 a month. Like I say, once again, let you know like how much or how important or how pertinent this particular news source is. $35 a month, and me personally, I feel like it's worth it. I don't have it personally. Um, I wait till they throw a deal out, and then I hop in it. But for the most part, I use the headlines. Then I use investing.com, or you can do forex.com, where you can go into this particular right here. You can go to tools, pull up the economic calendar, and you can see what's coming out this week that's going to affect these markets, whether that's in a positive way or in a negative way. Like tomorrow, Trump talking heavily affects the market. Like Trump, man, he liable to say anything, and the market going at the end of the day, you can like him or don't, but the market going to react to whatever it is that he say. His word is bond, and it is what it is for now. You gotta know, nitpick and kind of get the shavings, the residue of what he's saying. You can't take you got kind of got to take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to him, because he can say one thing right now and then he'll speak again tomorrow, and he'll double back on what he was saying. Ah, maybe I ain't gonna do that. But then in the same sentence, he'll say, or I could just crush them. Yo, he be wilding for real though. Um, and you got consumer confidence, right? That's a gauge of us, right? Me, you, everybody that's partaking in this economy. Household products, buying a car, buying a house, buying a piece of property, going on vacation. All these things are gauged. All of these things are tracked. All of these things are forecasted. These things are predicted. We are the pawns on the chessboard. And so being up, paying attention to what's really going on around you from an economic standpoint, I feel like is smart. Because people could tell you a lot of different things, especially in these politics, and they'll have you thinking that they did this, that, or whatever. When you can clearly follow what's going on in black and white, you can follow economic policy. Because one thing that don't lie is the numbers, right? Math is the one thing that's hard for you to manipulate, right? If you know what you're looking at or where you're looking. And in this game, the investing game, trading game, can't fake them numbers. A person can say they profitable, they do this, they do that. Check their back office. Tell that person to send you they PL for the year, PL for 5 years, right? You can check the numbers and see if they profitable, but not your word ain't enough. I mean, it's the same thing in the grand scale of things in this economy, in this world, right? Your word only holds so much weight. The numbers is what is the bottom line. So when you have news that we know coming out, is something that you pay attention to. You got to stay current in the market. What's going on right now? What's going on every day? What's going on next week? What's going on the week after next? All of these things are important when you're talking about putting your money out there on the line, when you're talking about investing in certain things, because time is super important too. You could be right and wrong at the same time, right? Catch that. You can be right and you can be wrong at the same time, literally. Especially if you're a stock trader, you're an options trader. You can be right and wrong at the same time if your timing is not on par, if your timing is not there. Procrastination does not get you rewarded in this game. Um, it just don't. So, um, right now, like I said, it's still early. Um, I'm waiting on my moves to play out, seeing how New York session gonna handle the yen. If they gonna buy it up or they just gonna, not buy it up. London they bought it up, but that does not mean the United States gonna buy it up. So we got a lot to pay attention to. If I say Trump talking tomorrow, that's gonna be super. That's gonna be super important. See what he talking about, and kind of just gotta go from there and pay attention to these fiscal, these policy matters that's fit to come out, and let's see if the politicians, let's see if they're gonna hold up to what they be saying, right? Put it in black and white. As we know, Trump definitely been putting it in black and white. What is EOs or whatever it is that he's trying to do, especially with this crypto market, man. Pay attention to the Clarity Act. Definitely something you want to write down and do your research on. If you was invested into this crypto game or you looking to get invested into this crypto game, that's something that I feel like is super important to the future of cryptos. Right? Don't just take my word for it. Do your own due diligence. Um, do check and see for yourself. I don't know everything. I know a little bit about a lot. I know a lot about a little bit. That's my slogan. I know a little bit about a lot, and I know a lot about a little bit. Yeah, that's my slogan, man, for sure. Smooth kid, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Share this to somebody who been trying to get into this game. I don't want to pay for a subscription, man. I'm trying to get into this currency game. We're trying to get into the stock market game. You, you gotta soak up some game. You gotta soak up some info. Am I the end all in? No, I'm not. I'm the one you can take a little bit from over here, take a little bit from over here. You know, if you don't want to be the one who say, all right, I don't want to pay for, I ain't trying to be paying for courses. I just want to, find all the available free information that I can. I'm one of the ones where you can kind of nitpick off of what I'm talking about and further engage in furthering your research, furthering your knowledge on what's really going on out here. If this is something that you get into, understand this is not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to get rich overnight. I'm just telling you that right now. You might have some beginner's luck, right? You might get in here in your first couple of trades, might hit, you might turn 1,000 into two, you know. But not having the discipline and the fortitude is going to come back and hunt you. You know, this game is a long term game. It's a discipline game. It's a you versus you game. Learning these charts is the easy part. No, in my opinion, that's the easy part. Learning these charts, learning how to manage your trade, knowing when to risk your trade, what to risk on your trade, when to, when not to. It's gonna be your biggest like hurdle. You know, most traders anyway. It might not be yours. You might be super frugal, but it's a growing game. Basically, what I'm saying. Uh, it's not something that you typically get overnight. Mm, mm, mm. Man, look at that spot move, G. John went crazy. Our future's looking good right now. Hmm. Yeah, it was kind of had these dialed up by SPX in a sense. I was waiting on this move, but it gapped down here, all the way down here, and pulled back up, and boom, now it's playing out. After it did that gap down, I really didn't trust it no more. But they knew what they was doing for whatever reason that they could chose to gap down like that. Maybe too many traders had their eyes on this position right here because that was easy money. But the gap down right here, it caused this gap down right here made me like, nah, I'm cool. And boy, it just pulled up, boom, about to go and hit TP, something slight, easy money. But I left it alone. I just didn't feel like it would be a good move after it gap down like that. Seeing cryptos push up. Um, I see something right here on Ethereum that you know, could be dialing something up right here on Ethereum for sure. Let's see what he's working with. Yeah, I like this. I like this right here. If we can stay bullish, if we can stay bullish on this right here, we can feel this candle. Man, this would be a nice move right here. Nice long opportunity for Ethereum. I don't know if this stop loss would be worth it. More so right here, this little fair value gap. You don't want to go if it is crypto. You could do something like this just to give yourself that room. If I'm that strong, convicted on this particular move, but me personally, I probably won't want that big of a stop loss right here. Let me see what the low is for the day. So you got the low down here. Get to the week. I'm gonna do a top down on it. Let's do a top down. Low of the week here. High of last week here. And we're going to break this down. Right. Low here. Now come down daily. You got the low from last week just about been tapped. And we got the low for this week right now currently. And this the high for last week. So if I'm put yourself in their shoes, right, we're gonna think like them. If I'm looking for the next level of liquidity, where you think I'm looking at? If I've already came, price has already dropped as much as it have from here to here, and I swept last week low. Where is it for me to go? Right? Let's say we had the twin towers right here. Be the perfect opportunity to boom and continue this uprising right here, in my opinion. Now, could we, right? Could this be a fake out? And we just come and snatch last week low? For sure. For sure. Like I say, we don't marry a bias, we go off what we see. We're reactionaries, right? We trying to ride the wave, whichever way the market decide to go. It's fine. We just trying to catch the next move. We ain't trying to catch the perfect entry. We trying to catch the correct entry. At least that's what I'm shooting for. But yeah, if I'm thinking right outside the box, if I'm thinking like an institutional trader, and as we know, as an institution, they ain't trying to lose no money. They don't want to lose no money, right? So if I'm thinking like an institutional trader, then here is where I want to be, right? Here is where I want to be, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. Like I say, I know it's somebody out there who try and get some free lingo, some free game. I'm just the person to tap in with it, man. I don't mind spreading that lingo. Somebody that really want it, for sure. For sure. But yeah, man, we possibly got some nice moves in the Bitcoin. Looks like Ethereum. And that's kind of a plus, but not at the same time. But what I like about both, as I'm looking at Bitcoin and XRP, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they look different from XRP. Sometimes when you got all three of them looking alike, kind of want to stay away from that screen drop manipulation for sure. But when you got one or maybe all three doing their own different thing, or you definitely got two that's going one way and the other one doing something different, definitely want to pay attention. It's something that's brewing behind the scenes when you have that going on. But if all three of them look the same, they all three moving the same, nah, they might be a setup. I don't like them type of moves. They all look the same way with futures too. SPX, NAS, US 30. If they all look the same, I'm looking the other way. Like, nah, nope, you ain't gonna get me. And that's how they like to play. Um, but yeah, it's nice. That's a nice looking setup right here, man. It's a nice looking setup. Um, for sure, for sure. I say currently in AJ. Let's see how we're gonna hold up. If we're gonna get this leg back down, or if we're gonna get these highs. I mean, we're gonna get my stop ran and boom, boom. Timing could be off, but my move is solid. I feel like um, this area they will want to get to it. They're gonna go bearish. If they don't want to go bearish, then I feel like this area will be a good area to go to. So either way, we tripped up part. Just like the name of the channel, right? Legal trappers. Our main goal is to trap the market and figure out which way that they want to go, and we ride the wave. Simple as that. We're not trying to outbeat them. I'm not trying to out assume them. I'm just trying to make sure that my move is correct. I don't mind a late entry if we right, as long as we right. That's the main thing. Because currencies, they move a little different, man. But at the same time, they move very predictable. Once it's like a train. Once you get that train moving downhill, it's hard to stop it. It's just do its thing, and then most of the time it'll do its thing, and then it'll come right back and go the opposite way and take all that back that they just gave. Like, it's a very Indian giver, as they call it, right? It's a very Indian giver game. Not that the Indians gave and took anything back. It was the colonizers who, was given and uh took took back what was given to them in the sense that it didn't belong to them. So but you get the concept. And the foreign exchange market trading it is kind of like that, right? You will see a particular pair go up 100 pips in a one session, right? Let's say the London session, and then you'll see that same currency come right back down 100 pips the opposite way. Yeah, it's crazy, but I love it though. You don't have a whole lot of you don't have a whole lot of the manipulation that's going on with the currency is off data, right? Concrete data, like what's really going on out here in the world, what's really going on out here in the economy. Whereas stocks is just pure speculation, literally, it's just pure speculation. What us as consumers or investors deem is valuable or is going to increase in valuable. It's all an intrinsic gain. Whereas currencies is just hardcore data, right? Physical things that you can touch and see for yourself. Um, the most manipulation you got is, a lot of the the brokers, in a sense, them the ones you gotta watch the most. Currency game is just it's just a little bit more subtle, especially if you ain't the one who like all the noise. You don't like to trade on a super fast time frame. Forex is your game. Move slow. Um, Slower movement sometimes for most people, like myself, means clear vision. Right, you don't get your vision blurred so easily. Um, because you can see, right, you can see what's going on. Um, Based off that predictability of how the market is kind of moving slower. So, forex, man, it's my baby though. People say what they say. A lot of people got a lot of bad things to say about forex, or Most people be really be speaking on things that they don't be really having no clue on, right? They be going off something they done heard or something they seen on social media, but never really experienced it themselves, right? And I feel like does us a disservice when you speaking on something that um you really haven't experienced for yourself. You just going off somebody else's experience or somebody else's talking points, and then not going to educate yourself on something, but yet you're speaking on it. It's like crazy. Since now, especially now on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, really just social media, period, outside of Twitter, maybe, you have a lot of fake things being shared on the internet that nobody really is checking. People will take a snippet of something and they just run with it. They don't do no research. They don't do none of that. Like right now, it's literally one picture. It's a picture right now floating on the internet that's regarding the snowstorm, and it's been used for Nashville. It's been used for a city in Mississippi, and it's been used for a city up north. The same picture. I done looked at the same picture that's been attached to different cities, and it's like nobody is checking it. They just running with. It. I'm like, bro, I know you just seen the same picture that was attached to another city, and maybe not. Maybe they didn't see it, but that's what I'm saying. The misinformation out here right now on the internet is crazy. It's crazy. Nobody fact checks nothing. And then in this world, fact checking is like is they you a hater for fact checking somebody, man. Like this the world we living in right now. That if you fact checking somebody, that means you a hater. Hey man, can't make this up, bro. Real talk. Can't make this up. And that's literally what it is. For real. Yeah, man. Snowing outside. What else to do besides it? You know, trap these markets out. Plan your week out. It don't look like they gonna buy the end of too much this particular session right here. Maybe next session they will. That ain't looking too good right now on the end. Some heavy volume coming out these candles right now for sure. Um, like I say, I'm not gonna exit the trade. I'm gonna just let it play out. Just let it hit stop loss. If that's what it's gonna do, we about let me see, 20 maybe 20 pips. About 20 pips from stop loss. Like I say last night, overnight we was down 10 pips right now. Overnight we was up 50 pips, but I didn't have my parameters set. Um, and price came back on us this morning, as you can see from here. It's 4 o'clock this morning, and we've been bullish ever since. And entry is right around here, and boom. So when I woke up and I seen it, I'm like, well, there's no point in exiting now. Like I say, you could look at it as like that's not good trade management. As you can see, you could say that, but I'm willing to take that risk, right? I'm willing to see. Hopefully we stay underneath this red line right here. And then we get this leg back down to take out this low that it made last night around 4. Hopefully we're not too early because we can very well see where price is at right now. We can see price run up here, snatch these stop losses sitting up here, and then make the push back down. I mean, that's literally something we could see happen. But I'm willing to bet that if price get up here, take out these stops, and we see a pullback to this area and respect this new support, I can very well see this. That is a huge imbalance. Like I say, that happened Friday out of the blue. Nobody was expecting that with the yen situation. But right now, I'm just trying to ride that momentum they had going into Friday, um, and see if they want to continue to go lower. If the intervention from the United States is actually going to happen, is they actually going to sell the dollar and buy up the and buy up the yen, right? Could this possibly happen? And like I said, it makes sense because um, their economy affects our economy because they hold so much of our treasuries that Japan could say, you know what, we gotta do what we gotta do, and they can start selling U.S. treasuries off to people like China. All that's going to do is push the bond market up, and if the yields rates continue to go up, that defeats the purpose of owning or purchasing yen. The reason why most investors flock to yen as a safe haven currency is because of the low interest rate that has been associated with the yen for decades. Now we're having that potentially unwind. As that potentially unwinds, that makes investors flock away from it, right? It puts them in a situation where it's like, okay, if I'm not profiting off of the fluctuations, the difference in yen or in other such cases, the dollar, what is the purpose of owning it, right? They don't care about if it helps stabilize the economy or not. They ain't trying to lose no money. So if they start dumping yen, then the yen, Japanese, they're going to say, well, we're gonna dump the United States treasuries as well. We need to cover our short term situation and long term too, because we want to attract new investors, right? We don't want them to be running away with our dollars and leaving us high and dry. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still in this trade. Um, you know, Gotta ride it out, man. Like I say, I don't want to marry my bias, but I don't want to say I'm for the exit the trade right now because price actually not looking good. I'm in drawdown, and then I look back a couple hours later and price when it did what I thought it was gonna do, and it's fine if it don't. That's fine. Once I understand that price is not going to respect the area that I wanted to respect, now I'm going to look to position myself to uh, look the opposite way, right? If I was looking for a sale, maybe the sentiment has changed now. Maybe it's bullish. Maybe it's consolidating. Maybe I need to stay away from it, right? You just have to assess the situation as you go. And right now, we're still in this trade, right? There is no reason to exit the trade as of right now, right? See prices pushing back down. We're getting back to entry. If I was going to exit the trade, now would be a good time, right? I can cut my losses, right here in my entry, literally right at it right now. I can cut my losses. But like I say, I want to see how the market is going to play out, right? It's still early. The stock market has only been open an hour, so there's a lot could happen between now and the end of the day. So that's where we at right now, man. We're gonna let these plays rock out. Right now, coming back into profit as you can see right now. So like I say, I'm looking to see if we're gonna get this leg down, take out this low, and get down here in this area, back down here, or like I've been saying, price could say, you know what, I want to run these stops here, come back and give you an opportunity, and you can ride with me too, because this is a super inefficiency area here. So maybe I'm mismanaging the trade. Maybe I'm out of my mind, but it's the risk of trading. This is the game that I chose to play in, right? So this is the game that I have to be comfortable with playing, the risk game, because it's what it is. It is a risk game. Risk on, risk off. Right now, risk on. And we see how the market is, boom, getting back into this, getting back in profit right now. So that's what it is, man. With the yen situation, paying attention to the headlines. What are they actually going to do? What are they actually saying? Trump speaks tomorrow. That's going to be super important. Whatever he say, rambling about, the market is going to react to that. So that's what we're going and got going on for this going into this week is the yen situation. Paying attention to that, seeing how this is going to unwind and where we are going to shape our bias for the yen going into the week. That is the main focus and bias sentiment right now coming out of legal traps. So, man, I've been on here for what 51 minutes. I ain't gonna keep talking y'all head off. I just wanted to come, lay out the format for this week. And like I say, we're looking to see how the yen is going to play out. Super important, not just because I'm trying to make a profit off of trading, but it's super important because what's happening in their economy could very well affect ours. It could be a telltale sign of what's to come for us. And if it's going to come for us, we want to be prepared as much as we can, right? At least I do. So I'm on it. Send somebody this video, send somebody this live that really want to lock in on what's going on in these markets, man. It's your boy DK, aka Smoothie Kid, checking out, man.